The West gets China completely wrong. People think of pollution, factories, and miserable people with zero freedom. When I told my friends in Italy that I was moving to China at 17, they thought I was insane. They told me Chinese people are dirty and China is not safe. And then I actually lived there for a few years, and what I found is shocked me. In this video, I'm going to break down all the lies that the West thinks about China. And trust me, some of them are ridiculous. This video it's going to be divided in two parts. The first part is going to be about misconception about China, and the second part is going to be about misconception about the Chinese people. And by the end of it, you might question everything you knew. So first of all, let's analyze together why this misconception exists. Well, the first reason why is because there are political tension between the West and China. So, since there are these political tension, Western medias like the TV that we watch or maybe the newspaper, they are going to bring to you many news about the government, but they never speak about the people. And of course, reason number three is that China and the West, they are separated by a wall. Why is it? Because of course, like in the West, we use Instagram, YouTube. It doesn't matter whether you are from Africa, whether you are from America or Europe, you are going to connect pretty much well through YouTube to people in America if you are in Europe. But this is not going to happen with China. It has never happened actually. Because Chinese people, they use their own apps. So they don't have YouTube. YouTube is banned in China. Instagram is banned. Facebook is banned. Everything basically that we have in the West cannot be used in China. So we cannot see how Chinese people are. We cannot hear Chinese people speaking, and they cannot hear us as well. So don't get me wrong, the West has misconception about China, but China has also misconception about the West. So since we have this wall between us, of course, it's also going to be hard for us to go to China and see what's in there because we are scared of the unknown. So many Chinese people come to us, but few of us go and visit China. I am bringing you with this video because not only I lived in China, but also I speak Chinese, so I understand China and the Chinese mentality. Misconception number one, China is completely closed off. Now, it's not 100% true because China is not North Korea. People from North Korea, they cannot even exit the country. For the case of China, it's not like that. In fact, if you see, it doesn't matter from which country are you from, you are going to see so many Chinese people in your own country. For example, I'm from Italy, and there are so many Chinese people in Italy because what they do is they leave China, they come to Italy, they make money, and as soon as they're going to have enough money, they're going to go back to China. Even if you go to the smallest country of this planet, you are going to find Chinese people. So you are not going there, but they are coming here. The only reason why you don't understand the big impact of Chinese people on your country is because you cannot hear them. They're very silent people, hardworking people who are not going to bother you. And in case you don't know, Chinese people love Western people. So for example, when I went to China, not only they were just taking photos of me because they were like, oh my god, like a foreigner, because they don't meet many foreigners there, but also they like our brands. So they go crazy when it comes to Louis Vuitton, they go crazy when it comes to Sephora, and they spend so much money on these kind of brands that when they come to Italy, they just go inside big brands like Gucci and they buy so many things because they know that it's going to be less expensive to buy a brand, let's say in Italy or France, instead of buying it in China. Misconception number two, everyone in China is poor. Well, this is totally wrong, and I will tell you why. Because China is a relatively new country. Of course, it's a very old country, but when it comes to open up, it started opening up 40, 50 years ago. So people started making money in the last decades. I'm so sure that if I tell you Italy, the first thing that will come to your mind is going to be Lamborghini or football or all those stuff, arts. We have so many beautiful things in Italy, but what you don't know is that Italy is not full of rich people. We all are middle class people. So we don't have many poor people and we don't have many rich people. Instead, in China is different. Of course, there are poor people, but at the same time, there are also a lot of rich people, many more than Italy. And remember that if you go to any city to travel, you're going to find Chinese tourists. Because basically what they do, they travel a lot. They spend a lot of money, not only in luxurious items, as I was telling you before, but also they spend money on traveling. And I will tell you more. People always say that, oh wow, Dubai is amazing. It's very beautiful. It's very advanced. I mean, Dubai is not even as much advanced as Shanghai or Beijing. And I'm telling you this because I've lived both in Shanghai and in Dubai. Right now, I'm living in Dubai and I prefer 10 times Shanghai because Shanghai is more convenient. The city is actually very livable, much more than Dubai, is pretty much connected, and everything works with technology. And I'm telling you, Dubai is not even going to reach the level that Shanghai has as of now in 10 years. Misconception number 3: China is dangerous for foreigners. Well, this is not true 100% because as a woman, I felt very safe living in China. People appreciate you, people are welcoming you, and they take good care of you. Also, the fact that there are so many cameras in the roads, basically everywhere, you feel safer because you know that if anything gets stolen to you, you can still go and find it back. And now let's start with part 2 of this video, which is basically the misconception that Western people have towards Chinese people. Misconception number 1 is something that Italian people have told me every single time I would tell them that I was going to China. Misconception number 1 is that Chinese people are dirty. I wouldn't say that Chinese people smell, and they are not dirty as well. They are very organized on what they do. They are very humble people. They are not going to wear like crazy clothes just in order to appear, but they are very humble, they are very modest, and they are going to take shower almost every day. You can see this fact reflected on the environment. In fact, Chinese cities are also very clean. Misconception number 2 about Chinese people: they eat dogs and insects. Well, this is not entirely true, and I will tell you why. Because if you go to Beijing or maybe to some, very touristy place, you're going to find insects in the street. They're going to sell insects, but they sell those only for the tourists because they know that tourists are very attracted by these things, and tourists, like coming from outside of China, they love to try these things, they love to take a video, so they actually sell this kind of things. But I'm going to tell you that all of my friends, all of my Chinese friends, they don't actually eat this kind of things. Now I will tell you a little anecdote. Basically, when I was 17 years old and I went to China, I had this friend from America who also came to China, and he was living with a Chinese family. Now, this Chinese family had a restaurant, but this restaurant was not like a normal restaurant. They were only selling dog meats. They were serving only dog meats. So what happened is that this family was not rich. So of course, my friend had to eat dog meat daily. What has happened is that this American guy, when he first arrived to China, he was actually a little bit fat, and when he left China, he was actually very thin. But he didn't stay all the time with this Chinese family. In fact, after 6 months, he decided to leave them because he was suffering a little bit. So This is the truth actually. Like, it's not like I'm telling you, oh no, there is no dog in China that people eat, or no, I'm not going to tell you anything like that. I'm giving you this honest review on China. And yes, people eat dog's meat, but it's not like everybody does that. Most of the people don't. Instead, they really like dogs and cats and they keep them in their houses. They think they're very cute, just like everybody, in the world. Misconception number 3: Chinese people are miserable. They are not happy. Well, this is not the case actually, because they are kind of happy with the system, actually happier than Italians, because I'm telling you, Italians, they complain about the government every single day because they know that they don't have any good opportunity when it comes to jobs, and of course at the same time the healthcare in Italy is not working. Yes, it's for free, but it's not working, and we are still paying taxes which are like a little bit hidden. Of course it's not like completely free, right? Schools don't work well, public transport don't work well in Italy. Instead, if you go to China, you will see people actually very happy about their lives. They don't even need to drive. Most of the time, I've seen like very few Chinese people who actually own a car, because like Chinese friends, I'm saying. Of course, there are so many Chinese people who own a car, but my Chinese friend, they don't really own a car because they can get around well in the city. They can have access to healthcare, they can find jobs easily. Of course, like work-life balance in China is not the best, I have to say. And now I will go to misconception number 4, which is Chinese people are very cold and they don't like to talk with you. Now, this is a very big misconception, and I will tell you why. Because they are like that if you cannot speak Chinese. If you are going to impress them with Chinese, they're going to make you their own friend. Chinese people cannot speak English very well, including, for example, Chinese people who live in Italy close to my house. I know that even though they can speak a little bit of Italian, they're not going to create bonds with Italian people. But I've actually created good bond with them because I can speak in Chinese with them. So if you think that Chinese people are cold, well, you are mistaken. Try for yourself learning Chinese, then go to them, and then you come back to me and you tell me whether they are cold or not. And now you must watch this video here if you want to know how I learned Chinese in only 8 months, 8 years ago, and I will see you there. Bye bye.